This is not the video that I had promised. I was going to make a video on warrior women. Fortunately, for some data, I am waiting on interlibrary loan. In a book that I assume is going to be a definitive account of a battle that I have conflicting information on here in my library, here in the ranch. So I'm hoping that book will resolve that conflict. In the meantime, I came across a creationist who doesn't admit to being a creationist here on YouTube. He doesn't know the difference between the Big Bang and the Big Bang Theory. He doesn't know the difference between evolution and the theory of evolution. He doesn't even know the difference between a scientific theory and pure speculation. And looking at this video, you hear him talk. He's obviously intelligent. You can tell he has education. You can look at his comments that he's written. The spelling is a whole lot better than what most creationists in YouTube's exhibit. Grammar is also good. How is it possible that somebody cannot understand the difference between a observed natural phenomena and the theory that defines, describes, and makes predictions about that natural phenomena? Tonight, I worshipped the flying spaghetti monster. Big, huge pot full of worship. I worshipped the whole thing. I even worshipped its only begotten son, the 6 slices of garlic bread. And I even worshipped some of the flying spaghetti monster's angels, grated Parmesan. I worshipped the whole thing. And I can still feel it it's like I ate an anvil. I ate so much. If I were to go into a restaurant and I asked for a heaping pile of spaghetti with marinara sauce, and the waiter came back a couple minutes later and put this on a plate and told me, "Bon appetit, senor." French. The waiter is a French Mexican. This is the ingredients listed in angel hair pasta. Not only does it list the ingredients, it also explains how to cook it. One can say, this is the printed theory behind cooking and eating pasta. And the waiter would ask, if the waiter doesn't know the difference between a theory and the actual pasta, he just gives me this and says, "Have a fork and have at it, sir." How is it possible that somebody who is obviously not stupid doesn't understand the difference between a scientific theory and speculation, and a scientific theory and the natural phenomena that theory applies to? Two totally different effing things. I would say fucking things, but I'm trying to be a kinder, gentler desert file here. Two different things. I can eat this with, the correct sauce. This I'd have a hell of a hard time digesting. It'll probably come out in the same format that it goes in. A little worse for wear, perhaps. Given my bowels, it'll probably come out exactly the same way it goes in. He also said in written comments, he doesn't know if evolution is true. He doesn't know if creation is true. What he means, creationism. He doesn't know if Big Bang is true. He said he wasn't there to observe it, therefore he can't possibly know which is correct. Suppose I invited a friend here to the ranch, and at the moment there's only me, human-wise, here in the entire canyon. I'm the only human that I know of in 23 miles. I invite the person over, and that person pulls out a gun, shoots me right between the eyes, dead, and I fall to the poor white trailer trash trailer here, missing the Mountain Dew, empty Mountain Dew cans. I'm kidding. And then he takes a chainsaw out, he cuts my head off, and then he takes out a knife, and he stabs me a dozen times in the back, puncturing my lungs several times, and he leaves the knife in there in my back. He leaves the ranch, he tries to cross the river and drowns and gets washed out into the ocean. Along comes Lieutenant Columbo, looking at my carcass, and liberating truth would have people believe, since there's no witnesses to my murder, that must mean I'm not dead. We know the Big Bang happened because it is happening. We observe it still happening. We know evolution happened because it is still happening. We observe evolution happening. We know that the Big Bang theory correctly defines and describes the Big Bang because observations and predictions that the theory has made have later come to be observed true. We know that the theory of evolution is correct because predictions that it makes also come true. For a fine example, the search and the discovery of the intermediate fossil Tiktaalik, for one example. Anyhow, I'm thinking I might worship the other only begotten son of the flying spaghetti monster, known as Alka-Seltzer.